Futures trading involves risk and is not suitable for all investors. Content provided in this segment is meant for educational purposes and is not a solicitation to buy or sell commodities.
Hello, and welcome to Forecast Update Live, a new video series from EverAg Insights, where each month we gather to discuss our dairy market forecast. I'm your host, John Spainhour. We're joined today by Erica Medke, Matt Gould, and Phil Plord. To get us started, Erica, tell us about this month's forecast and if anything's changed from last month.
Hey, good morning, John. Thanks for having me back again. Honestly, there isn't that much that has changed between this month and last month's forecast. So folks will notice that we are down a few pennies in the major commodities of cheese, butter, and non-fat. Whey we have taken up a little bit.
Thanks, Erica. Okay, every month we like to bring a unique perspective here and look at it through either the bull lens or the bear lens, and we like to switch up the opinion that people get to take. This month, Matt is going to give us the bull case for the dairy markets. Matt, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, John. Yeah, the bull case is pretty simple, I think, in this environment. It's all about milk supply. And so in the U.S., for a variety of reasons, including cost of money, farm margins this year, and base programs that are in place, the U.S. is not tracking towards significant growth anytime soon. Actually, we don't think that we're going to have significant growth until the second quarter of next year at the earliest. Outside the U.S., milk supply growth is also constrained. In Europe and New Zealand, recent data show weakening supplies. And in Argentina and the U.S., the trend is somewhat sideways. And of course, then there's China. And in China, it's been a very challenging margin environment this year, and fluid milk demand has also faced serious headwinds. And so there too, we believe milk supplies are declining. So to recap, milk supplies are constrained in the US, in Europe, in New Zealand, and China. It's really hard not to be somewhat bullish in that environment. Even if you're a big bad bear, I think there's a limit to even how bearish one could be in this environment, just because we don't have enough supply globally. Now, while I'm generally price supportive, I want to add some caveats here. A supply constrained environment is good, but to paraphrase my colleague Bill Curley this week, the best rallies happen when supply is down and demand is really, really, really good. And to be frank, demand isn't really, really good. So while I'm bullish, I'm not strapping on my moon boots bullish.
Matt, thank you very much for your perspective on the bull case. Erica, this week you're going to talk about the bear case. Go ahead and give us your perspective.
Well, thank you, Matt, for setting that up for me in terms of what is bearish, and it really is demand. So as we think about U.S. consumers, we've seen some slowdown at retail recently. Very little good news out of the food service space, quite a bit of challenges out of Big Pizza. And as we think about the overall macroeconomic environment, yes, GDP in the U.S. was up very nicely in Q3. But if you dig into the details, thank you, Phil, we'll see that a lot of that is based on credit. And so I do think there will come a day of reckoning. Now, it may not be before Christmas. I think people will still buy their Christmas gifts and enjoy the holidays, but there will be some big bills coming due. And so I think the real challenge becomes as you look at 2024, where is that demand going to be? Are people going to be spending more at home versus eating out? Globally, as we think about demand, there's also some weakness there. So Matt had mentioned China. And if you look at year-to-date imports of whole milk powder through September, that number down 38%. The other bad news story is Southeast Asia. Through August year-to-date, they're down 26% on whole milk powder. So again, not a great environment to be looking for a big price increase there. And, as Matt's story on the bull side looks at milk production, I would say that the other challenge there is while we may have less volume, there's less water in that milk. There's more fat, there's more protein, which at the end of the day does make more product.
Thanks, Erica. Both you and Matt have given us a lot to think about there. Every month, we like to have Phil bring us his perspective through a slide that we like to call our favorite look. Phil, this month is related to the global dairy trade. What can you tell us about what's going on out in the world of the international dairy markets?
It goes right back to what Erica was talking about just a minute ago, that trade into places like China and Southeast Asia has been really soft this year. And we recently joined forces with Fresh Agenda, and our new teammates in Australia have great tools for looking at movement of products around the world. And so they have this great look on global dairy trade in milk solid equivalents. And when you look at that graph that we're featuring this month, it shows that global trade is down 1.1% compared to where it was a year ago, and down 3.7% versus the peak in August 2021. And so it illustrates the lackluster traffic, the failure to catch a gear. And when we're wondering why, just how to illustrate soft-ish global dairy demand, it's a really pretty good visual.
Thanks, Phil. And I think that, again, really does reinforce both the points that Matt and Erica were making in terms of, yes, we do have reason to believe that milk production growth won't be robust, and that is a bullish factor in the market. But underlying that is a weaker than what we might want to see demand factor out there in the international markets, which might limit, if not hinder, some of the upside in pricing. That will do it for this month's episode of Forecast Update Live. Thank you to all of our panelists. Thank you to everyone on the EverAg Insights team for their work on the forecast. And thank you, the viewers, for tuning in. If you don't receive our forecast update and would like to subscribe, please reach out via email at insights@ever.ag. If you like this video, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a thumbs up, and share with a friend. We'll see you next month for another edition of Forecast Update Live.